I did not learn how to be a retired person, how to not work, how to chill, how to just professionally vibe. For that reason, I did a study for you all regarding how to successfully be a retired person. If you haven't yet, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all my subscribers that have subscribed recently. Let's get into the video. Now, this video isn't going to teach you how to retire. If you're interested in how to take a mini retirement like I did, please check the link above to go ahead and do that. But this video isn't going to be about that. This video is going to be actually about how to live a retired life that still feels fulfilling and good to you, because what you might not realize if you're not retired or if you're working for it is that once you become retired, once you hit this next milestone, like any other milestone, once you hit it, you kind of start thinking what's next. But the thing about retirement is there's actually nothing next. So that's the hard mind game that I'm going to teach you guys how to play today. For this, I actually interviewed the only professional retirees I know, my grandma and grandpa. They've been retired since they were in their mid-50s. These are all the tips I learned from them to live a successfully retired life. So let's get into it. The first thing I learned from these professional retirees, number one, you need to be disciplined to have a free mind. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, first and foremost, you need to have a system for getting your physical and mental work throughout the day. Now, I highly recommend what my grandma and grandpa do, which they both take a hot girl walk every day.
Hey, Jessica,
Mande.
como te ves, me vi.
Y como me ves, te verás.
Te verás.
Te lo creo.
Así que no se ande burlando los días.
Ay, pues no.
By getting up to exercise early in the morning when you're already up, you're going to be able to feel better. Now, as a retired person or as any person, it doesn't matter what exercise you get. It just matters that you get up and do it. The beginning of the day is the earliest and best time to do it because it just takes it off your checklist right away and prepares you for the day with those endorphins. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. As Benjamin Franklin said, it is so important to get a good night's sleep and wake up refreshed. By doing this, you're ensuring that you're actually on a good sleep schedule. And you're also ensuring that you get after the day and use the morning to your advantage. The early bird gets the worm. By waking up early, you're going to feel rejuvenated, ready for your day. Remember, if you're retired, you're probably not exerting yourself physically or, in many other ways. So it's a really good idea to get a good night's sleep. It reduces anxiety, stress, depression, all of those things. It's literally essential to our functioning. So make sure to get a good night's sleep. Another thing to do is check in on your emotional health. Something my grandma does is she reads the Bible. Now, everybody's different. For me personally, I like to take a bubble bath and sit there for an hour or so and just give some time to me. So whatever it is that calms your mind and brings you peace, make sure to do that at some point in your day and set a system for that on the daily or a few times a week so that you can be not only physically but mentally and emotionally taken care of, because that's very important when you have all the time to be in your head. Now, speaking of being in your head, the next thing is to keep your mind busy, because if you're not keeping your mind busy, your mind will get busy overthinking things that don't freaking matter. So something my grandma does is she cleans the house immediately after her hot girl walk. She starts getting some chores done just to kind of tick them off the list and to get more of that exercise and really get into her body. I also can tell that my grandma does chores in like a meditative state. I know that's a weird thing to say, especially since she probably wouldn't call it that, but she does so quietly, and I see her mopping and she just kind of watches and relaxes while she does that, taking some time to be conscious and take some deep breaths. And that again is really just clearing your mental space. Usually during the time after their walk, my grandpa goes out and does his chores too. That's watering the plants, going to the grocery store for my grandmother. Whatever they need to do, they take care of their chores in the morning. They've even been known to cut nopales together and do all that work together. So that's really beautiful too. They do all their chores in the morning just to, again, get that energy out and to not be in their head and to keep themselves busy so their mind isn't racing. By removing these things off your to-do list in the morning, you're really giving yourself mental clarity. You're kind of checking those to-do list boxes that are in your head, always kind of floating around. By checking it off, you're just basically throwing it out of your mind, which is giving you more mental clarity, which is exactly what I've been needing during this retirement. So that's something I'm really going to practice. One other thing that my grandparents taught me is that they play a lot of games.
Déjate estar de payasa, ándale.
It's funny. My whole life is being a payasa, papa.
They play cards, they play dominoes, they play Uno, they play all these games just to keep their mind busy, and I love that. They have been known to play all sorts of games, and by playing Jenga or playing whatever games at hand, they're just getting their mind to work on something that's more intentional and more present in the moment instead of being in their head and thinking about the future or the past. Get out of your house. I know a lot of us think we love our house, and after COVID, we all want to work from home. We all want to be hermits in our house, and I understand if you're kind of antisocial, that's fine. I'm kind of an introvert too. I love that about you, and there's nothing you need to change, but you do need to get out of your mental space or your physical space, because it helps clear up your mental space by leaving your physical space and going to the grocery store, even if you go with headphones on, but going to the grocery store. My grandparents go to the casino. I go for bike rides. Whatever it is to get you out of the house, even if it's just an hour or two a day, is really going to help your mental state so that you're not trapped in the same four walls and in solitary confinement. That's literally how people go crazy, when they're alone with four walls. Add social media to that, and come on. Like, get out of your house. Don't force yourself to be imprisoned in your home. Like, you don't even have to be around people to get out of your house. So just make it a point to get out of your house, and you'll feel a lot better. I also recommend to do this midday. So my grandparents, I've noticed, in the morning they tend to go for their walk, take care of their chores, do all those to-do list things. But during midday, when it's kind of that slump period from like 2 to 3, that's when they usually get out of the house and go to the casino. For just like an hour, they take like $20 with them, and they just have a good time. But if they get out of the house just for an hour in that weird period, then they're not taking a nap and just sitting around all day in bed and feeling useless and lazy. So I think that's really, really important. Make sure to get out of the house, especially during that midday period. The next thing I've noticed that they do is they really relax and practice self-care. After they've done all those things, after they've left the house, they've done their chores, they've gone for their morning walk, around 4 or 5, they actually start winding down. They have a cup of decaf coffee, which I love. They always have their little coffee at 5:10 p.m. is what my grandpa says. He has it on a schedule. So they have their coffee, and then they relax. Then is their time to watch their novelas or TV shows or whatever they want. And my grandma might knit, or might pull out a Bible, or might whatever her thing is that day. She keeps herself busy, and so does my grandpa, doing things that kind of care for them and that they really enjoy, winding down for the day, no longer working, doing chores, or physically, mentally, or emotionally working, really just taking a moment to be present. And I think that's very important too, to give yourself some rest, because if you're go all day, that's also not healthy. The last thing I learned from my grandparents about being retired is to be grateful in every moment, because when you're not working and when you're not interfacing with society as much, you're going to realize that it's kind of sad and lonely. Community is so important to us as human beings, whether you're an introvert or not. Like, just being around people, even if you're not communicating with them, really gives you a sense of togetherness, and it really reminds you that we're all the same, if you will. We're all made of the same things. So for that reason, I think it's really important just to be grateful and sit in that, because when you're sitting in gratitude, I feel like you just feel in a healthier state. Your mental state's more calm. It's just healthy in general. So really take a moment to be grateful in the moment you're in, and don't forget that life is really beautiful. So thank you so much to everybody that's joined me on this journey. I can't wait for you guys to keep following. On that note, thank you all so much for being here. I love you all. Mwah, kisses. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and I hope that all your manifestations come true. Take care. Bye, guys.
What'd you bring me, Lily? What'd you bring me, girlfriend? Oh my God, is it a rat?